we're here again today, guys, in our odyssey to discover
India
all the religions
of America.
All the religions in India, in America. So today we're at a Hare Krishna temple in San Diego. So
Hare, 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 Rama, Rama. Oh, I can hear the beat going inside.
we've actually been here before. Today's Sunday, so they should be doing their free dinner here today, and it opens at 4:30 and it's like 4:38.
Yeah, but
So-
it looks closed.
It does look close. This place gets pumping though. We've been here before. These guys were really nice to us. Check it out. Wow, nice little artwork too. Nice little chairs. As always, take your shoes off.
No one's here. So we'll be giving you a tour today of a Hare Krishna temple. But unfortunately, is it still going?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we won't have any sort of guide to it.
Well, I'm sure if we stay long enough, people will arrive. Here, they have that. I forget what this man's name was. What's that guy's name?
That's Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He's the founder of Charya, meaning that he founded ISKCON. He came over here from India.
Is he the one that was like with the Beatles? Like, did he meet, he like taught the Beatles and everything?
Yeah, we have a book called Chant and Be Happy.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah, that's the book.
Yep.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, so we honor him every morning at 7:15, and we do like a little kirtan. These are our deities. So those two in the middle are actually, that's Krishna and Radharani. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya.
What's their significance?
Their significance is they brought the Maha Mantra, is the Hare Krishna mantra we see
This
right
one?
up here. Yeah, this one right here, that's the mantra they brought, and that mantra is purifying the heart. And so when we sing this mantra, we chant this mantra, we sing it, we do japa, we meditate on it.
Could you give us an example of like how you guys chant it?
Yeah, so we do japa. We have these bead bags that we do, and we chant on them. And so we could say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so when you're meditating on this, you're actually cleaning the heart. And every time you clean the heart, you get more and more free from this material endeavor. And so yeah, so then we have some other ones over here. These are other deities. These are considered the most merciful of all the deities because the way it's depicted in the Bhagavad Gita.
And what are their names?
So, to my knowledge, the one on the far left is Balaram, and the one on the right is Krishna as well. So that's another form of Krishna. Krishna has unlimited forms. Lord Rishingadev, that little painting.
Lord Rishingadev?
Lord Rishingadev. He's the one that cuts all the karma ties. He's we have these knots in our heart, and he basically just like comes and like cuts it out. So we also have a bunch of other paintings here that kind of depict on like what other stuff we like to experience.
When are usually your like I don't know if what kind of services there would be, like when the people who normally come here would be here. When are those days?
Yeah, I actually have a thing you want to show you.
Oh yeah, cool.
Also, where are you from?
Me? Well, I was originally born in Atlanta, Georgia. Moved here from Seattle 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I was raised.
Can I ask you real quick, what is this?
I forget his name too, but you say he's the guardian, the messenger.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's
but
a messenger.
I wouldn't quote me on most of this stuff because I'm not really responsible. I'm not like knowledgeable. I'm pretty new, but I can give you help a little breakdown.
What got you into Hare Krishna?
Just to understanding that there's questions that most religions don't ask. Like what is the form of God? What is understanding of who we are and why we're here? And some of the things they just give, the answers are just kind of like mundane, or there's not a full, detailed answer. When I came to Krishna consciousness, it was like, okay, we got the answer.
Who introduced you to
There's
Krishna?
a senior here, his name is Damodar Kumar Das, and he's been here for I think 7 or 8 years now. And he was on book distribution at Pacific Beach. And then, Ocean Beach at the farmers market,
Mhm.
and so he gave me some books, and I was like, oh, and he said, come over to the Krishna Lounge, which right here. If you look over here, this is our temple hours actually. So everyone wakes up at 4:30 a.m. Well, we wake up at 4 or before that, right? I mean, supposed to be down at the temple at 4 a.m. And what we do is actually we do a little kirtan. So it's, you see right here, from 4:30 to 5, we do kirtan with the deities, and also we have tulsi, which is a sacred plant. And then this right here, 7:15 to 11:30 is that's another deity time when they're out. But we do kirtan in the beginning, and then we do also Bhagavatam class around this time. Here in the afternoon, this is just like another time, but that's when we have our lunch. That's after 12:30. 4:30 to 5:30. So tonight, actually, at 5:30 p.m., we actually have kirtan going on where we worship the deities, and then we also have a Sunday feast and a celebration and a wisdom talk, right? So every Sunday we do this. As Hare Krishnas, and especially ISKCON was actually founded by Prabhupada, and what he was actually looking for was just compassionate souls to help deliver back to Godhead. Now, some of these religions, like I want to say Buddhists, they focus on oneness and that everything is one, even the material things. But we ask, what is the point of being one with everything if you're not going to be who you are? Because everyone has a personality, even if we try to say we're all one. And so we're not trying to say we're one, but we are part and parcel with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so, Krishna, he is basically the creator of this whole entire reality and the multiple other realities that are out there. But just to kind of bring it all back is that what's really differentiate is that we're saying, why go to these different demigods? Like this is right here is actually I forget the deity's name, very popular, Ganesh. So that's Ganesh, right? And so Ganesh is very, very praised in India, actually. And so they worship Ganesh and like to help remove obstacles and everything. But we actually say, why go to demigods, right? Like Shiva, Ganesh, Vishnu. Vishnu is a form of Krishna, but we're trying to say that the personality of Godhead is actually what we're trying to get to. Is like what we're trying to. That's our ultimate goal. Is go back to Godhead, Vrindavan, Goloka. You can see why we believe in reincarnation, because this actually happens in this material body as well. Everyone had a young body, and then everyone goes through cycles of life where we had like an old body. What do you think you're on this one?
Where am I?
Yeah.
I'm probably right about there.
All right, perfect.
Or maybe right. Going towards right there.
That guy?
Yeah, it's almost a man.
Almost a man.
So, but like that, you being right here as a baby, you weren't thinking the same thing you were thinking now,
That's
right?
true.
You were probably asking these questions you guys asking right now when you were a kid. And so in that is that our bodies always change. I don't know if you heard this, but scientifically, like every 7 to 10 years, we actually have like a new body, like all our cells. Yeah, they die and you get new ones. Same thing, our body changes, and so our mind, our intelligence always changes. And so with this, but our soul actually stays eternally the same. It never dies, can never die.
I've got a weird kind of question
Yes,
that
what's up?
mentioning cells. So, obviously cells are living things, right?
Yeah.
So would each cell have its own soul that's also in the cycle of reincarnation that makes up a person or animal or plant?
Well, I can't really explain that depth, but I can explain this. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says that Krishna is in every atom, meaning that he really influences to the most microscopic level. And so in this is that our soul is actually really small. You can actually measure it. They actually explain that also in the Gita, is that it's the tip of the hair, right? The very tip of it, and it's 1 in 10,000 of that tip. Okay. When you first come in through the doors, naturally you're supposed to bow down. So you go on your knees and hands, and you put your head down, and that's just giving obeisance and respect. Now there's an even more ultimate version. You can say like the most respectful way to give respects. And this is our Prabhupada. I'll do in front of him. And so basically it's just a straight plank, right? And you just most of your body is on the floor, and you would say a prayer. I don't want to say the prayer because I'm not really fluent in the prayer, so I don't want to mess up and people are like, oh, give him this.
So you just do the bow.
Yeah.
Does it? So you say you do it in front of him, but you did it this way. Does it need to be facing him, or it doesn't matter as long as you're in front of him doing it?
So facing your left side is actually the more common way.
So if even if I wasn't gonna go all the way, like
Yeah.
lay out, but if I was gonna do the bow, it's like this,
Yeah,
and it's just with him to my left.
yeah, that's perfect. So when you give obeisance to him, you go to your left. And then, but if you're coming in and out of the temple, it's whichever way you want.
And you do it as soon as you come in.
Come in, yeah.
And then
preferably.
do you do it anytime you pass here, or just as you want?
This is as much. So the more you do that, the more you can say spiritual development you get. And so we generally try to do it throughout the day, just to have like that kind of benediction. Okay, this is my master. I'm always trying to honor him.
Okay, so that's a form of
And so,
meditation. Is
yeah.
you might do it like a prolonged sort of thing here, like you might be down there for a while.
If you say the mantra meditation,
Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. We can't run down the battery too far. I don't know what this says, but we walked past it. Somebody does. Okay, so having been born in India and raised as a Hare Krishna, where you grew up, where in India was that?
It's more Varanasi.
Varanasi, that's on the east,
It's a
northeast.
north, yeah.
Okay. So in that area, is there a large Hare Krishna population?
Not really, actually. So in Hindu religion, it's mostly all the gods, and the Krishna is one of them. But it's not specifically for Hare Krishna. It's all the gods. So unlike in major cities, they have the Hare Krishna temple, but not in my hometown.
Okay, so you grew up in a rural area in India? So
Yeah.
like maybe in like a small town or a village?
Small town, yes.
Okay, so in your small town, your family was the only Hare Krishnas?
Yeah.
Okay, so Krishna is represented in Hinduism, correct?
Yes.
So are there other gods that are taken necessarily from Hinduism that have their own, like, I don't know if you'd call it a sect or like religion?
Not
Like-
as much as
Like
Krishna.
Vishnuism, okay, so Hare Krishnaism would
Yeah,
be the
Krishna is
biggest,
the major, yeah.
like singling out of a god
I
from
think so.
Hinduism? Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense, that's the only one I've heard of, so,
Yeah.
So, in India, obviously in your small town, or in your hometown, there isn't a large community of Hare Krishna, but is there a specific place where Hare Krishnas generally live, like an area that's more, like they may not be the majority, but they may be like 2% of the population, so where there's a community?
I'm not aware of that in the small towns, but maybe in the big cities. But small town, again, it's like all the gods. It's not just Hare Krishna.
Okay, so it's predominantly just Hindu where you were from?
Yeah.
Okay, great. You can participate if you want.
Shri Srimad Divine Grace, Santa Saraswati Thakur, Ananda Koti Vaishnava Nikaya, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur, Prince Prabhu Shri Krishna Chaitanya Bhuvan Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaur, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyamakun Varakun, Giri Gopadanti
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishna says, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So the theory is, I looked it up a little bit, they say that matter was compacted into a very small ball with infinite density and intense heat called singularity. So this is the basic theory. But then one may ask, well, where did the ball come from? And why? So there's some major questions. And generally when there's a big bang, there's not order. What happens when there's a big bang, when there's an explosion? Chaos. Yeah, chaos. Not the order that we see now. I mean, there's incredible order. And just like right now, the sun is going from the east to the west. And now winter is coming upon, so it's going south. And eventually, I think December 22nd or something like that, then it starts going, at one point, 1 second, it starts going north again. It's amazing. I remember one time I was visiting my family on a Christmas Eve, and it happened to be a full moon, maybe about 30 years ago, something like that. Full moon, Christmas Eve. So the astronomers got out their calculators, figured out when the next full moon will be on Christmas Eve. And they figured it'd be another 110 years or something. I can't remember the exact year. But it's so synchronized, they're able to figure out when the next full moon is going to be on Christmas Eve. That's pretty amazing. So I was explaining this to my family members, how amazing this creation is. There must be a God behind this, such synchronicity. And they're all God conscious, except for one. I have a brother who's, I call him a born-again atheist. So he couldn't appreciate this conversation that everything's coming from God. So I explained this about the moon, and he said to me, it's gravity. He said, I thought it was Newton's law of gravity. So I said, well, was the law there before Newton? And he wouldn't answer me. It's amazing, people come up with these laws and they put their name on it. Yeah. So I said, was the law there before Newton? Finally said, yes. But it's not just the law of gravity. I mean, it's this Krishna, he created this amazing creation. It's totally amazing.
here, the Hare Krishnas do prasad, which is, it's Sunday, so they do a free meal. It's a vegetarian meal, and it's free to anybody who wants it. So this is what they have for the free food, and as you can see, it looks really good, honestly. Like, it smells like Mexican food. I think it is. Like,
I think they made Mexican food.
Today
is Mexican night.
I honestly don't know if we sound really like ignorant saying that, but
It might just be those tortilla chips that make it smell like Mexican food does.
This is rice and beans and like an enchilada, like a vegetable enchilada, and the fact that it's free.
It looks like its
And it
innards are
looks
the
this good.
same as the Israeli food.
I like it a lot, actually.
All right,
So
there you go.
if you want a free meal, if you want to learn about Hare Krishna, come to the temple.
Or if you want to be a devotee.
Or if you want to be a devotee or a monk. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a lot about, you know, a religion you might not have ever heard of. If you did like it, tell us in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a
What
good
about
one.
if they didn't like it?
If they didn't like it, tell us in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.